Welcome to all our viewers here worldwide on NewsNOW. From Fox, we break in right here on the special report. Police on scene of a high school shooting in Knoxville, Tennessee. You can see the shot here that we have here for you. We're seeing if we will be able to get some other shots, maybe aerials as well. But you can see media quite the distance away from this high school here. But multiple agencies right now are on the scene of a shooting at Austin East Magnet High School. Multiple gunshot victims reported, including a KT officer. Welcome everyone here to NewsNOW from Fox. We are now worldwide here with you, unfortunately, on another school shooting that we are seeing right now. Police on the scene of this high school shooting in Knoxville, Tennessee. Okay, we're getting a little bit better zoomed in shot right here. This is the latest that we know, that some students were able to leave the school with faculty that were not a part of this shooting here. Multiple agencies are on the scene of the shooting at Austin East Magnet High School. Multiple gunshot victims are being reported. There's also a report of an officer that was hit too. We're still waiting for all of those confirmations right here, but we appreciate all our viewers from around the country and around the world. We always, every time there is breaking news like this magnitude, we wish that we met on such happier terms here, but unfortunately we do bring you the news as it's happening, and sometimes that could be quite bad. And right now we are live here in Knoxville, Tennessee, with the very latest that we are getting into our newsroom right now. This is our best shot that we have seen so far, as the camera has now been able to be zoomed in. Here's the good thing though, the way that the police are having their body language, it doesn't look like there is a threat anymore. Just from this vantage point, that's what you could look at yourself. Just the way these faculty members or people are walking would lead you to believe that maybe the situation is over now, that active investigation would be going on right now here. But we know that there will be some sort of update coming from the police, maybe school administrators have as well. But of course, we will be here with you every step of the way on NewsNOW from Fox, bringing it to you in real time right here. Got some other shots available here to us, not of the shooting scene, but just Knoxville in general. So we'll bring that up to you here in just a moment. We're really hoping for the very best for everybody that is involved. We don't know the number of people that were shot. We don't know if it was just an officer that was shot in the shooting. So many variables right now because we are in this breaking news mode. You know, news and information comes so fluid that it's we have to wait until we get confirmations from the authorities as well. But unfortunately, we saw the tweet, like so many around the world, saying that multiple agencies were on the scene of the shooting at Austin East Magnet High School, with the multiple gunshot victims being reported there. So this is the best vantage point that we have. There is no Fox owned and operated in Knoxville television station. So usually if it would happen in an owned and operated market, there would be a lot more shots available to us. This time, not so much. Okay, we do have another police cruiser coming through here with the lights on. This is a staging area that we see quite often in these situations. But we're just awaiting, just like you, for some news and updates coming out of Knoxville, Tennessee, everybody. What I'm going to do is pull up a map of where this high school is located in relation to Knoxville. so we can all show that to you as well. Before I do that, I do have some information about this high school. It's a public high school in Knoxville, operated by Knox County Schools. Does have some history about it too. I was just reading back in 1986, the two schools, which were only some 8 to 10 blocks apart, were combined to form a single racially integrated high school located in the East High building and named Austin East High School. The Austin school site became the location of Vine Middle School. Following the merger, many white students from East High transferred to other high schools, leaving Austin East as a predominantly black school. That was back in 1968. So some history there. In 1997, the school received Magnet School designation, offering a focus in performing arts, science, and math. In spite of the Magnet program, which was intended to boost the enrollment, as of 2008-2009, more than 80% of Austin East students were African American. And then of the news here that we're seeing today, a school shooting being reported, multiple people shot, including an officer with the Knoxville Police Department, awaiting to hear more details about that right now. But let's pull up a map to give you a location of where this is all happening right now. So this is happening on the northeast side of town. Pull up a map right there. And here on NewsNOW from Fox, we're pulling up all of the sources here in real time. And there we go. So the school is in this section right here. You got Knoxville in the downtown section right here. So we are on the northeast side. Let's bring it back full right here on NewsNOW from Fox. Hoping for the very best. Looks like that. Thought that shot was frozen there for a second, but officer just wasn't moving. And we're hoping for some better updates here. And just the beginning, it always does sound very, very bad, just because of, well, when the police say multiple injuries being reported here, that is never good there. We are learning a reunification site has been established at the baseball field behind Austin East High School near Wilson and Henbury there, though. So that's the latest update from the Knoxville Police Department, putting that out a little bit ago. So that's where families can come and hopefully find their loved one and bring them back home when everything has been cleared at the high school. So we appreciate all our viewers here around the country and around the world as we bring you this breaking news out of Knoxville, Tennessee, everyone. And such an ironic moment before the Knoxville Police Department, just an hour before the Knoxville Police Department put out this breaking news of this high school shooting. They put out a tweet saying that there's no better place to live and serve than Knoxville, and there's still time to apply and join the police department there. So they were doing some recruiting on their Twitter page, and then just an hour later, have to announce the very sad news here of multiple gunshot victims being reported. Also, an officer involved in the mix here as well. Still no updates there on if there are any deaths associated with this shooting. How is the condition of the officer? So we have a lot of questions, but as you can imagine, police right now, no time to talk to the media at this moment because they are dealing with something very serious and have to figure out everything. And then, you know, you always got to wonder in these types of situations, is it just the one shooter or could there have been a multiple? So you got to go through those and really check to see what is happening here, because we've seen instances, unfortunately, where there has been multiple shooters. Easy one to remember is Columbine, and that did not end well at all there, as there was just multiple victims on the scene there. So you really gotta, just because you think, okay, maybe a shooter is down and neutralized, you don't know if there could be another one in that building somewhere trying to do harm as well. So that is where our law enforcement plays a very, very critical role. And I should also point out that coming out of after Columbine taught a lot of law enforcement officials, not only in Colorado, but across the country, about how to respond to a shooting incident, active shooter at a high school or other places. And what they found out was that as soon as you hear the shots, you got to go in. They were doing a lot of staging at Columbine, and they didn't go in for a good portion of the time when this was all unraveling. So after that, they did some studies and found out when you do have an active shooter, you gotta go to where you are hearing the shots being fired and try as fast as you can to neutralize that suspect or suspects, because any moment that you don't do that, that you are just giving them free range to do and commit just horrendous things. So that's one thing that really came out big from Columbine after they sat back and saw what was happening, but did not respond right away. So here's another shot that we have here available to us right now. Not much. This photographer is doing the best that they can. Obviously, they can't roam around right now. They're probably positioned just at that part right there. But we see the increase of viewers coming in from around the world, and we welcome you all right now. Let me just re-rack this, as now we are now coming up on 5 o'clock Eastern right now, and that's the time, local time there, giving the very latest right here. We are live here for you in Knoxville, Tennessee. Police on the scene of a high school shooting happening at Austin East Magnet High School. Multiple gunshot victims reported, including a Knoxville police officer. The investigation remains active at this time, and they are urging everybody in that area to please avoid the area. And there's the intersection that you are seeing right there. Looks like Parkview and King. Okay, so we are hearing some good details coming out. We were thinking about that when we were just seeing the body language of the police. So a lot of the police members that first rushed to the scene, they're actually now getting out of that area because the active threat is over. That's the big news, and that's something that we got to report right away here and to let you know, okay, active threat is over. That's the best news. Now we got to wait and hear from the investigators about what's happening there and what all went down at this high school here. So that's a good sign right there. We're hoping that there just was one is too many when you're talking about somebody that got hurt because of a shooting at a high school here. So we are going to wait in here. If they're going to be setting up some sort of news conference, we're going to stay on with you as long as we possibly can, or have the shot available to us right here. Always providing you the details that it's happening in real time. One of the great things about here on News Now from Fox, when we get a certain event or a breaking news situation, we'll just stay on it and try to give you the details as they're coming in real time. Some of you have seen our coverage in the past. Well, obviously, when we're on a police chase, we'll just stay on that and provide the updates that we can and describe what we're seeing. So if you're just joining us here, everyone, the active threat is now over. That's what we were seeing with a lot of the body language from the people just around this scene right here. It was very calm. Now the investigation will happen. The only thing that we don't like to have to report, but boy, we are going to do it when we have to, is the police did say multiple gunshot victims being reported there. Now, obviously, when they're just getting to the scene, they don't know the whole extent from it. So we're hoping sometimes those numbers are first reported high and then can maybe go down. That's what we're hoping for this situation here right now. I just keep updating the Twitter account for the Knoxville Police Department just in case if I'm going to see any new details here. But this is all something that was reported just about an hour ago. It took us about 30 minutes, 40 minutes to get a feed in from Knoxville. And once we did, we decided we got 2 streams going. Let's roll with it. Let's go live and give the updates that are happening in real time. But if you're just joining us here, best news is that the active threat is over. We don't know what happened to the suspect, who the suspect was. Was it a student? Was it somebody that came in and tried to rush the high school? A lot of questions right now. Did the officer neutralize the suspect, or did the suspect turn that gun on him or herself here? So got a lot of questions. Was it just one shooter? So many different variables, obviously, in a school shooting, and something that unfortunately here in the news business that we have too much opportunity and too much experience to bring you. But the best part is, though, that we're not seeing now a flood of more ambulances being rushed to the scene. If that was the case, boy, that would be something terribly, terribly bad. But like I said earlier, just having one person shot is bad enough. Boy, we thank all our new viewers for continuing to come in. We're seeing the stream continue its growth right here. So let me just reset right here for some of our new viewers here. It is now 5:07 out on the East Coast here, Knoxville, Tennessee, on the Eastern time, and just wanted to bring that to you. Multiple people shot, including an officer here. You just saw some of the graphic there by the station that is providing this shot to us. Oh, now we are getting aerials, folks. Okay, this is new. This is new. We are getting the aerials right here. Okay, so let's see what we have right here. We're getting these aerials right now fresh to us. And let's see what we could make out right here. There we go. You see the rush of ambulances, all the first responders there as well at this high school. This is Austin East Magnet High School right now. The active threat is over, but now we're just waiting on a news conference. News conference would be great at this moment. Okay, we just did lose Sky Fox right there, but now we have the shot that we have been taking for you for the last, okay, we did lose that one. So here's the situation, everybody. We'll just wait and see if we can get any more updates right here. This is a live look right now in Knoxville, not close to the actual high school, but just wanted to give you that vantage point right there. So I'm your host, Mike Pace. Thanks so much for joining us here on News Now from Fox. Once again, we are talking about, unfortunately, another school shooting, this time happening at a high school in the northeast side of Knoxville, Tennessee. We don't know the condition of the officer that was shot or the multiple victims at this moment. We don't know if they were just gunshot victims or, unfortunately, were they deaths? Was this faculty members or was this all students? And who was the shooter? So a lot of questions remain at this time, and we're going to wait and see if we could get a police update, hopefully that they are staging for one currently right now. This comes on really just the heels of a very busy day here on the NewsNOW desk, always offering the latest live reports and live updates as they are happening in real time. We were having the Derek Chauvin trial for much of the day, and we still had the other breaking news from Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, that happened last night, and it looks like there's going to be more activity there. That situation where an officer fired at a suspect, and that suspect did die, and the police chief today said, well, that it looks like the officer wanted to use the taser but did not. So there is going to be some protest. We hope that they just remain protests there tonight, but of course we'll have full coverage for you on News Now from Fox, everybody. We continue to wait right here for seeing if we could get any more live shots available here to us of this breaking news situation in Knoxville, Tennessee. Here's what we can report to you at this moment here. We're waiting on a news conference. Knoxville police said that an officer was shot and that there are other victims here. We don't know the conditions of anybody that was shot. Frankly, we don't know this situation with the suspect and who that suspect was. And we'll continue to provide you the latest updates as they happen in real time right here. But I just wanted to give it just another moment to see if that Knoxville TV station will come back on with their shot. Hopefully a news conference can come up at some time. But regardless of when it does, we will monitor it and give you those updates in real time when that does happen. But in the meantime, here's a shot of Knoxville on this very, very sad day. Another school shooting in this country, this time coming in Knoxville, Tennessee, at Austin East Magnet High School. Multiple victims being reported, including an officer. We wait for the very latest updates right here on News Now from Fox.